So good afternoon everyone. How was your race this morning? Lazy, great. Just to add some spices and some more masala in your day, we have a very special center today. He's not wearing his red dress, but as usual he is in his traditional coat. And today we have a special session on how to speak in table topics. So please help me welcome the very gracious and impromptu Mr. Sunil Agrawal.
A lot of people have told me prior to coming here that what they have come from is incomplete. And they would like to complete that. I'm referring to the sleep that you have just left behind. So would you like to continue your sleep or are you wide awake now? What is the half? So you have 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
So if you are not awake, I realize that the other half will wait. Coming early is always a challenge and can lead to bad consequences, right Ashwin? Have you been suffered ever having come early or have you ever benefited coming early?
I think I've always benefited from it.
Anyone benefit you can share?
Like, say for example, you're going to office, okay, you're going late.
Yeah.
You're always in a hurry and you tend to miss out things. If you go early, then you go in the office, you get a very clear environment and you get time to think on it.
Okay, so you love when nobody's in the office. I suggest you go on weekends.
But sometimes the morning when you want to be on your own.
Okay.
But sometimes
Yes, there is a way of having a face. You know what? I will have a speech today, but the rules of environment of I think valid for this also.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Mr. President, valid for this? Okay. Yes, Vedanta. Have you benefited ever being late or early?
Yes, just now, because the way I come at 3:35, at the interaction,
Okay.
especially guests, good interaction. I think that is what.
Yes. Rizwan, what about you?
Yeah, I think of course being early at any place, it keeps you in a comfortable situation. You're calm and quiet and able to think better and focus on what you're doing.
What are you focusing on right now?
Focusing
The next break is again.
completing my P10 and
Okay. Yes, Didi. Have you benefited coming early or late?
both.
Okay, so give us an example of each.
Coming early, if you're early, you can socialize with people, get to know friends. If you come late, then you save time. Save time of
Save time.
waiting. Save time of waiting.
For the things to begin. Okay, great. Husband came home early one day and shocked to see his wife with another man. Was it a good situation or a bad situation?
The information is not sufficient.
And she asked him, why are you so early today? Saying, who's that man? Saying, don't change the topic. When Toastmasters started, it was meant to help people raise a toast. That's why the name Toastmasters. Because that's when we found that a lot of people could not even raise a toast, which was quite a custom amongst people in the US. Gradually, as most of the organizations, they wanted to see it make a useful contribution to their development. And many of them, especially married guys, came and complained that they didn't know what to say when their wife asked them, where were you last night? Have you experienced it? And that can work through table talks. You agree? Because people have to find out how would they answer to such spontaneous questions where really they had no answers. Anand, have you been in this situation before? No? So So get into those situations. What the use of joining Toastmasters? Yeah. You need to practice. Ashutosh, what example do you have of using table topics as in your real life?
Any interview?
Any interview. Okay. Linus, you look at what you are working with
Table topics?
Yeah.
Besides the interviews, it helps the interviews. For interviews, it definitely.
The interviews. Okay. So whenever you see a face like this, or hear this sound, what comes to mind? Can we hear this? What is this? I think this is a simple sound. What is the sound? What does it indicate?
Quick.
Instant.
Instant, okay.
Time is ticking.
Time is ticking. Anything else?
Heartbeat.
Still it goes.
Spontaneous.
You're still dreaming, huh?
Spontaneous.
Spontaneous. Yeah. So this is when you think of a subject what we call as impromptu speaking, when you have to reply in an instant. And in Toastmasters, we call them table topics. Now, for half of you are wondering why we have this session before. Do you have an idea why we have this session? Okay. Absolutely no. Do you have any idea?
Because for a team, we want to remember vocabulary, which is a topic.
Absolutely. You're not big actually. No anything about it. We didn't have anything better to do today first. Okay. Secondly, the contest is coming. Let us gather some tips because you see now today, if this was happening, very early, you would have forgotten most of the tips. Now you heard this. Does it make sense? What is this? This is how the person who gets a table topics feels, when he gets a topic. There's a time everybody else is getting the topic, sounds very relevant. But as soon as you get the topic, you feel this way? What do you know? What the hell happened? This looks like, it's a completely mess. You are comparatively new Toastmaster. Have you participated in table topics? And how have you felt it? You felt something like this? Yeah. So how do you overcome it?
I just started speaking, and once I started speaking, the fear just went off.
Okay. Yeah. I personally, my wife always tells me, whenever she hears I'm going to do a program and I'm going to have a prayer on the way, I say, you're so kind to me. This is the prayer is not for you, but for your attendees. So, table topics. What is table topics? We've done table topics, but if you want to define what is table topics, can you decide them in 5 words?
Spontaneous speaking.
Spontaneous speaking.
Particular subject.
That's 6 words.
Spontaneous.
Now you look at the
particular
particular
subject.
Yes. Within seconds. So,
Impromptu speaking.
impromptu speaking. Yes, I want to ask you because you are still a guest. Yes, Ashwin.
On the beach.
Thinking on the feet. Come on.
Things spoken on a table.
Things spoken on the table, not below the table. Okay. Yes.
Understand, organize and deliver within seconds.
Okay.
The topic is basically certain topics which would come up in a casual conversation at a table and how we would be able to give our bits into that conversation.
Atul?
Answering your wife's question instantly.
Yeah, I covered that. So the point is there something that we give an example of a question she asked and what answer came up?
Yeah, the same thing. Where were you?
Where were you? So a child was asking the father, do all fairy tales begin with once upon a time? He says, no, sir. Many times they begin with, sorry, dear, I was late last night. You are all got it wrong. This is table topics. Can you identify this person?
Jim Carrey.
This is the side of a person who is pregnantly waiting, hoping that he is not called out to speak speak the table topics. Can you imagine?
Yes.
Because soon as the table topic session starts, this guy wondering, I hope I am not called next. Do you experience that? Not yet. Ashwini? Sometimes. Pramod? You experience it? Okay. So these are the different expressions. So what do you gather? Is this a response to a table topic question? Have you been told that nothing of which is visible? Okay. So do you get this feeling in a table topic? What should I say? Yeah? Or do you identify with this person? You identify with this person? There's a lot of people who are still in the sleepy mode. So, President, what do you think? Have you identified with this person when the table topic is announced?
Yeah, that's right.
Scratching your head. Yeah. Santosh? Sachin, you're smiling from end to end just because you were lead of the silent dance for today. So what do you feel when you are told to attempt a table topics? Do you feel something like this? Yeah. Okay. Or do you feel something like this? You actually can imitate it. This is quite a natural expression that you get. Now, all those you think that you had enough, does this identify? No. Sometimes. Sometimes? Many times? Okay. Now, the girls are very great because they feel that the table topic seems to be very guy-centric. So, there's no need to really feel good about it for too long because I think your turn is coming. So, is it gender agnostic? You could also feel this way. But the best reaction that I've seen from a lady mentioned your topic is sums up like this. Now we wonder, what is it about table topics that makes people even more scared than public speaking? Tell me, you were given a choice between a speech and a table topic, what would you take? Definitely speech. What would you take? You would take table topics. So now we have two people who love things in a different way. Why would you choose a speech?
Because as a speaker, I'm more comfortable in something which I know I talk more confidently, I share my views rather than something.
You're using a key word which you are meaning but you're missing. Which is the key word? Prepare. Because you get time to prepare. You know that you have to do a speech. Somebody can start preparing for a speech a month in advance, a couple of months in advance, 2 weeks in advance, a week in advance, 2-3 days in advance, depending on what you do it. But a table topic really, even if you know you are participating in a table topic, you don't know what's talking about. So let's ask this one, what excites you to be part of table topics?
It actually helps me to think on my feet and also develop my skills.
Normally, when you think? So you said you like to think on your feet?
Yeah, because when you are in front of a crowd, that's a different scenario.
Okay.
You need to be spontaneous and have the skills.
Okay. So you relish that opportunity? You relish it? Okay, so it brings out the best in you. Linus, what do you think you are better? Prepared or type topics?
It depends. If I'm trying to prepare. But the table topic is super
You seem to be very political mood today. You should be JK now.
It's like you have a pitch, it takes 20 minutes.
Okay. So, we'll ask our guest, what do you think today if you are given a choice to give a prepared speech? Prepared speech will depend, you are told a day in advance, a week in advance, or a month in advance, or a table topic where even if you are known that you are a table topic speaker, but you have no clue, what would you prefer? Table topic, why?
It's a different challenge and helps you to think and it's a little advanced stage of ability to speak.
Okay.
And in real life, that's the most of
Great. I think that's a key word that public speaking, though the tenure is longer, though you have no time, but the real test of a speaker comes is when they are able to handle impromptu speaking with a certain amount of flair. Agree? I don't know your guess. Very good. So, you are a Toastmaster? Not yet. So, what do you guys do?
Table topics. Because the torture lasts only 2 minutes.
Okay, so the difference is, as I was about to say, that in the speech, the torture is to the audience. In table topic, the torture is in the speaker, right? Because in the speech, you know very well what you're going to speak, and you know very well when you're going to begin, where you're going to end. But in the table topics, you want to go to the questions, you're eyeing the cards very crucially. So here we are on table topics. So what does it indicate? Does this signify your approach to table topics tomorrow?
Yes,
What does this mean?
it means I don't want to see me speaking. I don't want to definitely hear speaking.
So if you want to sum it up in 2 words, what would it call?
Uncertainty and unconfidence.
Okay?
Fear.
Fear. What was it? What if you are actually imitating the guy? What does it mean?
Really the pride of uncertainty.
What does it mean? If you have this approach to table topics, what does it mean? Yes, Pradip.
Reluctant. Mind doesn't work.
Mind doesn't work. Okay, no.
You worry what do people think about.
Okay?
Fear of speaking.
This only indicates an approach of safety first. If you are going to see nothing, do nothing, make nothing, you are actually saying, you know, like what they say in Hindi, na bajega, baat na bajegi, bansuri is easy, you know, I don't know how you translate that in English. But you are playing the safety first rule, that nor will I participate, nor will I face the torture.
No pains, no gains.
So, it is said that you can draw the tales of caution all around the table topics. Will that be useful? This is a luxury maker for me. I will not go beyond this line. Do you feel that? Because whenever the table topics master asks for volunteers, how many times have you seen hands go up? He has to drop the second option, or actually asking people, you know, he has to do that because rarely there are volunteers. Because you agree that they have this caution or like that. How does it help you in preparing table topics if you have this caution line? Pradip, you quite have you woken up now?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
So basically, confines we also use in not to break the rules in 3 that we use in those functions. Sex is important. So I use it that way.
Okay. So that's about the content. I'm talking about just the basic rule of first thing is, you know, you are getting merged in that white together, right? See, wearing the right shirts. So what is this caution? Do you feel let us stay in a safety net?
Yeah, I feel like you make full of safety.
Safety.
Try to avoid the
Right, avoid it. And just enjoy others going through the torture.
Yes.
What is safety?
Keep playing out.
What is safety? Deeply obvious. So you could say that I am all wrapped up in the caution and I am not going to do anything. Will that really help you overcome table topics?
No.
So is it a friendly warning? People have said very clearly that if you do not surpass these warning signals, you say in order for you to profit from anything that you do, you will have to first commit mistakes. And to get out, you have to make some. Do you think you have become a good table topic speaker the first time today? So Rizwan, you said you really enjoyed. I'm sure you must have not enjoyed it the first time you participated. Gradually you started.
Because there are a lot of challenges.
Yeah. Yeah. So Nivedita, here is another for you. Instead of putting your head down, waiting to like a chameleon mix in the like a husband is doing, you know, mix in the crowd, so that the table topic master doesn't see you. If you want to get better at table topics, there's only one way. Raise your hand and say, okay, I will participate, because you will probably make a fool of yourself, but nothing can get you unless you make some mistakes. You agree? Because all the good table topic masters, they weren't born good table topic speakers. Just like you are not born a great speaker, you have gradually become a good speaker. A good table topic speaker will also have to venture out by participating. A famous Toastmaster found these complex words to describe table topics. Do you agree? I don't understand the meaning of other words. With the criminal. Apart from the last word, what is the meaning of this prevarication? Mr. Kamil, even you don't know. The advantage of being a client, everybody thinks, wow, such a big word, you know. So they are everyone should be. But I do agree with the last word, and I think that you must agree that table topics is nothing but the art of misinformation. You agree? You agree with misinformation? Okay, but as we go on to realize, it's like an interview. You said interview. Are they looking for the answers, or are they looking for, are you able to give an impromptu response? What are they looking for? The right answers?
Close to the truth.
Close to the truth, but basically they want to see whether you are in a position to think on your feet. Like I remember, it must be a very old one, but something that an interviewer was said. So how did you come to the interview? So he's saying, I took a cab. So what is the number of the cab? What makes you know the name of the cab? The second interviewer was called. He says MHO 55678. You want to go and check? So it was, yeah.
I just want to narrate the example for the interesting. When I went to IIM, they asked me, they were asking different questions. Quickly asked me, what is the distance between Chennai and Mumbai? I mean, there is no way you know exact number, but I just calculated by number of hours traveled and multiplied by average, this thing became some number. So I think for the benefit of others, because I sit in interview, the whole thought process is how quickly you can come out.
Yeah.
If I had told you 50,000 kilometers, they were rocket. But if you, whether it's 450 kilometers or 400 or 500.
So the idea is, it's not always the correct information, but are you able to give some kind of a good response immediately? And since you all are preparing for the table topics contest, the topics that are given have no right and wrong. Can anybody contest that? With what came first, the egg or the chicken? Can you get a right answer? Suppose that was the topic. Can you say who gave the right answer? There is no right answer. Most of the topics that are given are open-ended topics, so that you have a choice to mold them. The only thing is, how are you able to flow it? And that's what you're going to learn today, the art of table topics. The second thing about technical table topics is that immediately after being asked a question, you are expected to give a 2-minute answer that is organized, coherent, and entertaining in that order. You agree? Now we've talked about giving bullshit, misinformation, but that misinformation also has to be organized. So, idea is that if you are collecting bullshit, see that you collect it in an organized fashion. If you are not able to take it. So why is it said organized, coherent, and entertaining? Any thoughts? Santosh?
Entertaining, I think, is one of the most important things.
But you agree it has to be organized?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Why coherent?
Should be understood by the should make some sense.
No, coherent doesn't make sense.
Should be
Should not be tortured for
Coherent means it has to be linked to the topic you're given.
Yeah. This first sentence and second.
Means you are given a topic of marriage and you start talking about a picnic. How far apart they are?
Because it's organized.
It's not coherent.
Sunil, it's not organized because it's not entertaining. Only a baby is gibberish is entertaining.
Sorry, I didn't.
It's not organized and coherent, it's gibberish. Only a baby is gibberish.
No, I don't mean this. For example, what happens is, it's very easy to sit on that chair and comment. But when you come here and a chip is open and you given a topic where you have no clue what the topic is going to be, even the subject is not clear, and you are suddenly expected to start, let me tell you, even though as soon as you come back, you have 10, 20 things to talk talk about. But while you are standing here, it is a challenge, right? As soon as you go back and say, oh, I could have said that, I could have said that. The challenge is how you do that. And that is where the coherent comes, because suddenly you start talking things which have no relation to the topic you're giving. So organized why? Because it has to have some kind of a sequence. Coherent why? Don't forget what is the topic. And the third thing, why this should be entertaining?
That makes the entire conversation interesting.
Yeah. So what do you think? I think this entertaining part is really optional. Though they say that because you may find the topic very inspirational. Why have somebody to take out the Bible? So you may find the topic extremely inspirational, and you may want to end it with a call to action. You may find the topic something that you have a very strong view of, and you want to end with that new point of view. So entertaining is optional. I am just saying some of the views that people say, but if it's entertaining, is usually any speech that is entertaining is well received from the audience. That's the rule by this is to be entertaining. So you heard about the two rules of debate topics. The way to understand a debate topic is very clear. There is actually a mini speech that requires an opening, a body, and a conclusion. Now, how simple is that?
Opening is always a simple.
Yeah, opening is always a challenge. So what if the first trick that you learn about a debate topic is suppose you start thinking that I must have an opening, body, and closing. Do you think you have about a minute and a half already covered? If you have 30 seconds for each, since you are supposed to speak for 2 minutes.
Yes.
So if you have an opening and a body and closing, now I'm just saying simple. You can end in a minute and a half because your qualifying time is a minute. So, but if you think that it is actually a mini speech with an opening, body, and conclusion, so Nivedita will help you do it. So I'm going to ask Arvind to give you a topic, and you're going to attempt with the opening, body, and conclusion. Okay? So please put your hands together for Nivedita. So I will give her a very simple topic. She is as is nervous giving a speech today, so be kind to her.
My favorite street food.
Wow. Actually, honestly, I love all street foods. I enjoy it a lot. When it comes to giving up one ranking on the order of preferences, I love pav bhaji. It's awesome. It's beautiful. With all respect, it makes you feel full as well as it's relish. So it's all about. But of course, we have multiple street foods like vada pav, so on and so forth. But this is my most favorite.
Sorry, so you had to open.
Yeah.
You had very long body. And I didn't see a conclusion. Really? So did you feel the speech was incomplete?
That's still
So you would have said, like exactly what you said, in your last sentence, if you just said, so while I think I enjoy street food, pav bhaji will remain to be on top of my charts. Would that conclude your speech there? Okay, so the simple rules are that if you would like to do a speech, you have an opening and a body and a closing, these are sandwiched very close to each other. So big round of applause for Nivedita.
Which is your favorite color and why?
Colors as such are everywhere around us. And my favorite color tends to be blue. Any shade of blue. And why is that so? The reason is because I relate the color blue with the color of water, blue water, the blue ocean, the blue sky. And all these actually make me feel very nice. So every day I am wearing a blue shirt, for example, it really makes me feel good about myself. To conclude, I'm sure everybody has their own different colors, favorite colors, but nothing to beat my blue color. Thank you.
Okay. It's complete. There is a short time, but we know it's okay. So you're looking very expectant. Your turn next. So Pramod, you are talking.
My hobbies, my life. My hobbies, my life.
Everyone has their own set of hobbies, and it is always good to have a hobby. It's relaxing from your daily routine. And I would like to share one of my hobbies with you. It's dancing. I've been loving dancing since my childhood, and after a huge day at school with lots of work, lots of homework, I find dancing to be very relaxing. And I would like to urge you all to have at least one hobby apart from your daily routine. It helps you keep energized always.
Good. Well done. We didn't have a good conclusion. You have to dance for us. Either you are speaking completely imaginary, or if you are really from dancing, you will be able to show us a few steps. So please, yes.
I'd like to say that she's come a long way. Yes. The last time she was called on stage, she was blank. We said, just stand there for a minute. We are very happy that you were
In a very short time.
Everyone knows exactly opposite you does that also. Okay, thank you so much. A very simple rule of a tabletop game. You just say, I'm going to have 3 parts with one I'm opening. So, Jansi, okay, big round of applause for Jansi. Okay, Ashutosh.
Inner peace.
Then please, can you spell it, please? You have a choice of asking. Okay, your.
Inner peace. So while we all living our life and everybody aims for that eventual nirvana or having that inner peace, the entire term or the concept of inner peace is very subjective. For some, it may be doing things that they like doing. For some, it may be simply sitting and absorbing what the universe has to tell them. For the others, it is just completing their daily routine, and that gives them inner sense of peace and happiness. For me, inner peace is, yes, not having to worry about things, but that of course depends on you whether you choose to worry about it or not. For me, inner peace is sitting and seeing that everything around is proper, is happening, and at the same time enjoying and being a part of it. So I think all of us in our own struggles of life choose to have our own sense of inner peace, and I just hope that everybody else eventually finds their inner peace.
Oh, wonderful. Just divide these 3 parts doesn't become easy. Okay, so can we move forward? So now the whole idea is that each of us are limited by the vocabulary that we have in us. And the first rule is don't try to get something that you are not familiar with. The challenge is that as it is your challenge to recollect what you already know, if at this time you try to recollect something you don't even know, or try to recollect a word which you think will wow the people, or a joke that is very humorous, or remember a quotation that is appropriate, it's not fine. Because you really don't have time, you have to hit the ground running. So one rule is don't try to dig out anything beyond what you already have. Because if you stick, there's enough inside you. There's enough inside you. At that point of time, the challenge is not to invent new material, but to be able to dig out the material that is already inside you. So limitations are something. Do we create ourselves? Because one of the tricks of all those who love table topics, amongst many other things, have you begun to become careless about You feel I can't use?
I feel very
You
confident.
feel confident? Anuj?
Never tried.
You never tried, okay. We are in table topics, so you are the right one. Okay. So, how about you? How comfortable are you?
Not very confident.
Not very comfortable. But let me tell you that most of these limitations, like you have made the conscious effort to join those masters because you either had a fear of public speaking or you felt you couldn't address the larger audience. Are you feeling already comfortable now? Now, similarly, this fear of being able to do well is also a limitation that you have to completely banish from your mind. And you have nobody else. So, will you smile when you hear table topics? It's all about speaking. So, let's begin with the rules. Any idea what are the timings?
1 to 2 minutes.
So now many people get disqualified for timings. Both some people on the minimum front and some on the maximum front. So the timings are 60-second minimum. You all know this? And as Arvind said, that even if you are tongue-tied, don't leave the days till the green card is shown. The green card indicates you are now ready to leave for greener pastures. Right? Remember that. Okay, green card till the green is shown. Even if you are, because nobody can tell you why I am speaking. But if you quit the stage before 60 seconds, you are disqualified. So we are obviously looking at the contest, not only just the table topics in the yellow card is shown at 90 seconds. This is the mid time. And of course, the red card is shown at 120 seconds and you are given 30 seconds grace. So I just want to give you what you should be thinking when you see each card. Will that be helpful? Okay. So when you are seeing the green card, you remember that less than 60 seconds, so keep muttering something or the other. Even if you want to finish your beginning, start, body and conclusion, it's okay if you don't have enough material. But keep in mind that you have this last 60 seconds. If you don't have any material, and I have had some beautiful people out, like for example, I can't believe it till date, that for one of the table topics contests, they got books. And one of the books was on Legion of Brown. And we had told them to pick up books and those were the topics. And when they took up the topic, that guy started talking about the ram. And we were wondering, but we couldn't say anything. We were wondering, and I actually asked him, who's ram? And I realized how quick on his feet he walked, that he didn't know what was ram, and he took it as ram. Now, if you twist it in that fashion, like we said, coherent, and sense, nobody is going to question you why you took it. Like, for example, here I asked you in a comical fashion, but if you talk about pieces, nobody can tell you because you heard in a piece. And if you twist it to your liking, or you think you have a better material there, you have a choice. On the other hand, in one of the last contests, the topic was when you go to Rome, and we left it at that. And the lady was tongue-tied, and she's saying, and she had no idea what the problem was. I have never been to Rome, so how can I speak about Rome? And then we realized that a little bit of knowledge about problems and all are so crucial because you may get a topic surrounding that. And it was a wake-up call for us. We always were very happy. But she didn't have the proverb that when you go to Rome, behave like the Romans do, and they just got the topic. And we realized stuff about it. So you could get a topic when you don't know. But keep speaking till 60 seconds because till that time you have to know, I have to see that I qualify. What happens when you see yellow? So this is the time to start winding up. Why do you say that? Yeah. So when you see the yellow, because you want to have a coherent speech, you want to have a body and a conclusion, I'm presuming you are here at the body. So you have to say start winding up, and you can't wait for the red to start winding up. I've seen a lot of people, including prepared speeches, who start winding up when they see the red. Then you are running a real risk. You are really running a risk because you may have a longer sentence and something, and then you could be pushing against being disqualified. So start winding up when you see the yellow, because in 90 seconds, and then when the red comes at 120, drop red, close, or get disqualified. Because even after that, if you say 10 words is equal to 10 seconds, so 5 seconds. And you have only 30 seconds, and you don't want to come precariously close to 2.30, that's your final time. You're okay at ending at 2:10, 2:05, whatever, because your qualifying time is only 1. So these are the signals what you should indicate when you see red, yellow, green. So here we are sitting at a maze. So when you are given a topic, do you feel you are sitting at a maze? Now where do I go? You have so many directions. At the first moment when you yes.
When you said that you proportionately divide the time, or normally the opening?
I'm more detailed. You can't be proportional because
body has to be longer.
Body has to be longer always. At least in every topic, the body has to be longer.
Because you said at 90 you start winding up, that means you are having 30
second conclusion.
Conclusion of the 120, is it not disproportionate?
No, say, okay, roughly we'll come to that later. But 30 seconds for intro, 60 seconds for body, and 30 seconds for closing. If that's okay. You may even have 15 seconds. Yeah, go ahead, Vishnu. Okay. Welcome back. So contest procedure. Any idea what's the contest procedure? How many of you have participated in the contest procedure? Any you have participated? How many have attended tabletop contest? Very few. So would it be pertinent to explain the procedure? Okay. So the procedure is sounding a little bookish, but I'll just go through it. Is it basically 3 steps? The first step is that you will be taken out of the room. Are you ready to prepare for it? Yeah. So all table topic contestants will be taken out of the room. Any idea why? Get more time to prepare. Get to know each other better. Okay, you have one thought. Yeah. Rules will be strict. Open surrounding will be very good. But come back. You will get lost in the surroundings. Rules will be.
Everyone has the same topic.
Yeah, absolutely. Because round of applause, Ashwini, she got it right. Everybody is taken out of the room because you can't be listening to what the others have said, because everybody has got the same topic. Each of the contestants is then brought into the room in the sequence of the lots that they have drawn forward. So if you have the number, then you have to stay out. But it doesn't matter because your role is over, you've already performed. And in the third, which she mentioned correctly, was that the contestant's name is announced and the contest chair reads the topic twice. Same topic for all contestants. Were you aware about this rule? So what happens is, the chief judge comes with a selection of 4 or 5 topics. The contest chair asks somebody from the audience to pick one envelope from those 4 or 5 topics. So even the contest chair is unaware of what will be the topic for that particular contest. And that topic becomes the topic for that particular contest. And then the contest chair invites a person. Mr. President, can I just invite you to enact it for them so that how exactly happens once? Yeah, big round of applause. All participate also. Yeah, all participate.
I've now got the chip with me and the rest of the envelopes are kept aside. Just this envelope is taken. And the contestants will all move out of the room except the first contestant, number 1. The contestant number 1 is asked to come out. Come on, come on. Contestant number 1, make hay. Make hay, contestant number 1. Shake hands. And then takes about 5 or 10 seconds. The moment the person opens mouth, utters a word or makes any gesture that moves into the speech, the timer will start.
So, your time begins now.
Make hay while the sun shines. That's how the proverb goes. What does this proverb mean? It means that while you have the opportunities in life, make the best of it. We do get a lot of opportunities in our life, but we don't take advantage of that. One of them is the table topics. We hide behind each other and try to avoid the table topics. But you don't do, as we are learning in this session, we are missing out an opportunity to learn on the feet. So after this session, I'm sure that all of us will be able to make the best of table topics, learn to think on the feet, because this is what is going to take us ahead in life. So friends, make this the motto of your life, make hay while the sun shines.
Okay, great. I've just been reminded that I'm making too much hay. The sun is only going to be shining another 10-15 minutes for me. So I'll just go very quickly on the next topic, which is the 5 things you need to recollect while giving the topic. Any guesses? Once you give the topic, what are the 5 things that should be in your mind? Okay? Okay. Listen. How many contestants have lost because they didn't hear the topic correctly? Now, where you have the choice of interpretation, like you have the piece of peace, that's fine. But where you have the choice of not listening to the topic, the judges are not going to give you the benefit of doubt. And we have seen in so many contests that the contestants are not actively listening to the topic. And the contest chair will only repeat the topic twice. And since you are outside the room, you are going to hear it only twice. You say, oh, you're going to be outside the room. So when you come here, the first time you hear it, is going to be when you're supposed to speak. So please listen. We've seen too many people get disqualified because they spoke on a topic which was not actually the topic. The second thing is think. How much time do you have for this?
30 seconds. 2 or 3 seconds.
Actually, the best time to start thinking is while the person is speaking the topic. Because if you're going to be able to let him finish and then I'll start, it may be too late.
How many seconds do you actually have before you
See, technically, you have about 5-7 seconds. But it will go against you in the line of the judges if you take too long to start.
I could use 30 seconds.
No,
There's no 30 seconds. There's no 30 seconds. Always remember, everything is on time. Even the contest has to finish on time. So everybody comes there and says 30 seconds is wrong. So
you don't have, there is no provision for
there's no,
but you do have about 10 seconds.
The timer has stopped.
Sorry, please.
Go ahead.
Just the time that you have when the topic is announced and the time it takes you to reach the speaker, take his hand.
No, your time will start there. Because I'm going to show you some tricks how to gain a few precious seconds.
I've seen contestants stumble on the stage.
Okay? No. More than just a stumble. We'll give you a little extra time and we'll teach you how. So the second is think. Because if you have to organize the speech, you must be having at least 1 or 2 points that you want to begin with, and you want to put it in the body. At least those your landmarks, your milestones should be clear in your head. What you're going to really talk about. Because if you start thinking, and some people believe in the flow, but I think the best is so I'm going to cover these 3 points. The third is organize. Now the time that you take here is only for these 3. Listen, think, organize. Because then you say, okay, suppose you've got 2 options. So now you were called about, what was your topic?
Make it.
Make it. So you could have multiple options how to begin. And you're just tossing and then you quickly choose. Which will you choose, the best topic for the conclusion or the opening? If you have two good ideas, will you choose the best topic for the opening or closing? Closing. If you have two good ideas, then take the better idea for the closing, because that's the last flavor in the mouth of the judges. If you end with a bang, the chances of you scoring better are much higher than they forget what you started speaking. So opening is important, but if you have no idea, then it is very organized. The fourth is actually start speaking, because don't forget that you are there to speak. And lastly, don't forget to close. This is the problem I have. I forget to close. Okay. So now I'm going to do the tricks of the trade. So treat the speech as if you are breaking an egg. This is the anatomy of a speech, a tabletop speech. Now I am going to refer to henceforth a tabletop as a speech. Is that okay?
Yes. Yeah.
Now it would be good to think in your mind, this is not a tabletop, it's a speech. Because then automatically, as a trained Toastmaster tells you, I must have an opening, I must have a body, and I must have a closing. And you don't say, I just have to belong 5 good thoughts of the topic and I'll be done. It has to look like a speech at the end of the day, not just 5 statements on a topic. There has to be some kind of a coherent nature. You can't just say, thinking about this, I'm remembering 5 quotes. He said this, he said that, and okay, that's not done. So what's the anatomy of a speech? The first thing is the beginning. The beginning is to give the intention of what you are about to break. You getting it? Everybody has a different egg, right? So the beginning says, what are you about to say? So what are the options? I'm just going to run it quickly because I thought it would be more interactive. So you are asking for time. Table topics master, filler task, Toastmasters, and yes. And this gives you a little extra time to think. Does it give you?
Yes.
Got few precious seconds. Okay, so this is a, please don't start with coding. Any reason why? There is only 2 words. Doesn't give enough time. I say good evening. Good evening. You can't say that 5 times and go to 10. You will have to have. So this is also right because it's also technically correct that you're beginning the speech by greeting the table topics master, or it could be the contest chair, whatever this is.
And please do not refer to the judges and everybody and honorable judges. You're wasting time.
Yeah, because they are really honorable.
All the guests and all the visitors and all that. You don't have to waste time. The main thing is a contest. All you have to do is to. The contest chair is the main person. Only address the contest chair and that's all, and start.
And about the judges, they are really honorable, right?
Yeah, they are honorable.
That could be a trick of using time.
No, so the thing is,
You're losing time.
there are some people who are killing time. There are some people who are killing time, some people are losing time.
Yeah.
Those who don't have enough content are killing time, and those who have enough content, they say, why should I waste time? They can begin very quickly. So not
Technically, you don't address the crowd.
This is more, to get into that zone, okay, so now I can begin. Because you don't know how to begin.
And it also brings us confidence.
Confidence, yeah.
First
Right.
few sentences.
The first few sentences gets you to your feet. So this was the beginning. Is it different from the opening?
Yes.
What's the difference between the beginning and the opening?
You open your idea.
Open your idea, absolutely. So here you actually have even no idea what you are going to speak about. Then you've just given a courtesy greeting to everybody and taken a few extra seconds. And the opening can be like,
It's a great topic.
restate the question. Now you have still not uttered a single word from your you're still gathering time, huh? You're still gathering time. But this has to happen in quick succession. You can't say, okay, no, 30, 50 seconds over, no, I'll repeat the question. So, it could be like, thank you, contestant, thank you for asking me to speak on so-and-so subject. You also get an impression more time? Yeah, you get it. So, you can what are the options? You can restate the question. The other option is, you can give or take up a quote. Abraham Lincoln once said,
Making hay is a waste.
making hay is a waste of time.
Used to take.
Why is this very interesting topic for India?
In a country where hay is found on the wayside, why should I waste time making it?
Actually, this is very interesting to open if you can.
Yeah. So, I mean, to each his own. But we just give you two options. So far, you are wondering that, what will I say in the opening, what will I say in the body. So now you have given a few options. You can restate the question, you can begin with a quote, you can also use humor. I have been waiting for full 6 months for somebody to ask me.
Just
Especially the topic is such, So these are some, I'm not saying this is an exhaustive list, this is just a suggested list. That doesn't mean that you cannot add a dozen more. I'm just using a few options, 3 different ideas. You can repeat the question, you can use a quotation, or you can also use a humor to begin the quote. So have you got time for the opening? Okay, so now we move to the Did you say patient was your virtue? So, is it time to move to the body? Okay, so what does the body say? Any thoughts?
Real life example.
No, I mean, that is again your choice. But we are talking more about like how we give an option, how you can begin. If you have a real life example, so usually it could be the 3 options. Now, this is so useful that you say past, present, future. So we get it out. If I ask my grandfather, for him, he made a lot because he spent most of the time in his fields when he was growing up. If I ask my father what he meant to him, he probably had the best of both the worlds because he spent some time in the fields and some time there. But for me, I wonder what is the Christmas about today. So you actually got the present, past, future. You got an idea? So, I mean, you could use any topic to use it on the present, past, future. And this is just a small idea. You could elaborate it also. You could begin with a small summary and then elaborate it because you have time here. What is the second option? Before and after. Suppose you feel you don't have 2 options. You can stick to just chronologically before and after. Right? How did you feel before coming here? Yeah, worse. The third is compare and contrast. Like any topic you go, you could compare it like again it could be before and after, but compare and contrast any situation. So what was your topic? Hobby. Hobbies were so essential in our lives when we were young. Today as we have grown up, we have forgotten what hobbies mean. We are actually comparing and contrasting such a and that will give you enough material on what section you go. Now these are good pointers because once you go these as milestones, the content starts developing on its own. Because if you say, okay, I'm going to use this technique, you don't have to manufacture material. The material automatically starts formulating in your mind if you use these theories. So to organize the answer to the question, pick a format and follow it throughout the response. Suppose you start with present, past, future, then suddenly don't switch on before and after and forget one of the things. So that is that coherent part. Don't forget what line of thinking. And this is again just a few options. These are not exhaustive. You could have some other topics as well. Yeah.
Like for example, this speech like, hey, can you go completely on humor? Because obviously the phrase means something else.
See, look at the first slide, misinformation. As long as you are able to connect that, you can go to any degree as long as you don't lose a thread.
Because in a testimony competitions, the value is more for how you engage the audience.
No, not here. Not here. Not here, it is more content. engaging audience has got a few points, but you can't go completely haywire. That's why it's coherent, because then you are just testing whether you are engaging the audience. You're not testing whether you are able to engage the audience with the topic that you give. It's like a musician is given a raga to experiment with, rather than he starts just playing whatever he likes. So to experiment with a raga that you given, you actually lay down the rails. Now within those rails, how can you maneuver? So now one more trick. Summary. What's a summary? Many of you use it. So as we learn when we are young, hobbies are great for us. And as we grow older, the hobbies lose their significance. And you summarize whatever you see. Okay? So these are the 3 points. How you open, what was your body, and the last is the closing. What would be the closing? So to summarize, so in answer to the question, do we have inner peace in today's world? Thus my thoughts on whether we came by the sunshine. The summary is important because it re-emphasizes what you already said and also makes the audience very keen to listen to you because they know you're about to finish. Okay, so now if you see how many ingredients are going into it, then actually your content becomes quite limited. So if you see you've got a full-blooded speech, but you've got a template to fill the blanks in your mind. And now you are ready to read. This is very ending now. So what do you end? You already summarized. How do you end?
Thank you. Thank you, there is no thank you. It's
Back to you. Back to you.
So that's not the end. Restate the question. Like end with it. So make it when the sun shines is a question in everybody's mind. When people don't know what's important, the sun, the moon. If you mention that. So one very important point that is mentioned here, restate the opening quote. If in case you began with it. Repeat the same humor if you began with it, somebody told me. But there's one golden rule, any guesses? I made that mistake. Don't introduce any new material. Like, obviously I didn't do those things, but if I am adding anything new, it means I am not ending, I am actually adding a new thought to it. So the ending has to be a kind of a winding up the whole thing. Return control to the table topics master, is what he said. Right? So this was how the omelette gets made. Anything more can we share? Do we have time for 10 minutes? Can I take 10 minutes? So 3S. What does 3S stand for? Some further structure, strategies, and secrets for table topics. Ready? So we'll go quickly. What about the structure? Any more thoughts? We've already worked on the structure. So the structure is, here we are talking about the timing. So I will cover it. The premise can take about 15 to 30 seconds, ideally 15 to 20 seconds, 30 seconds is a little long. You don't have enough time. What one thing where I want my audience to walk away with is a question that you should have in your mind when you start the premise. The opening. Body, ideally 90 seconds, because that is your core. Then, it should ideally cover 2 points, 10 sentences, stories, and point B, another, and close 10 to 20 seconds. If you add up all this, upper limit comes to 120 seconds, right? 30, 90, 120, 140, and your actual time is 150. 1.5 minutes is your closing time? 150? Yeah. So this is cutting it very fine. But when you say 10 to 20, if you're using 20 years, then you probably have to cut down to 15 years. Or you have to make this 80. But this is the ideal ratio. You are asking what is the ratio of proportion. So the thing is that if you are talking too much of the premise, it means you really have nothing to share. At the same time, this is one trick that I've seen most of the table topics contestants lose, is they forget that it has to look like a speech. Not look like you just come and blurted something so you should be happy. I was able to speak for 60 seconds or 90 seconds. No, it has to still look as if it was a speech. It has to have opening, a body, and closing. So in the closing, you can again twist it and using the loop, you state the question in the end. Or like you said, a call to action. So, okay. So I want you all to revisit your hobbies. Not just check, and with a call to action. We have become not good enough that we can't embrace the hobbies once again. So this was about structures. What do we go next? Strategies. So the strategy is, so these are the other options that you have other than the compare contrast. Chronological. Any examples of chronological? So again, we gave you when, before, after, now, then, before, past, present, future. So you could have chronological, if the subject demands a chronological idea, like it could be to do with IT, could be to do with gadgets. So you would start, in childhood, the only gadget I ever had was something that I called a calculator. And that also took a long time to convince my parents to give me one. And today, I am flooded with gadgets. So you could then go progressively. So it could be about chronological. Sequential is a sequence of events. How it happened in the sequence. Cause effect. You know about the cause effect idea? Any example? Can you give them a topic quickly for cause effect example?
Ecological disaster.
Ecological. We are enjoying the fruits of so many appliances today. But when we see so many ecological imbalances, we have only ourselves to blame. Because while we have been consuming these, we have paid little attention to the imbalance that created in the cause effect. So it could be anything on the problem. Problem solution. So like your hobby could be a problem solution. You could use a problem. I find anybody I meet today doesn't have hobbies. Why don't they have hobbies? Is it a problem to have a hobby? Of course it's a problem to have a hobby. Our day begins with so many things on our mind. We go to the office, we're doing this, we're doing that. We have such a full life. Where is the time for hobby? Let me tell you, if you decide to overcome this limitation by a seriousness, you will find a way for something that you relish. And then you give a YouTube tips on how you can. So that is it. Again, we mentioned compare about the importance, optional, and of course geographical. If suppose you want to take region wise, how some things are happening region wise. So these are strategies. Now the golden rule in again like all speeches, you have to got this. What's this? The power of three. If you have three ideas, going is usually beautiful. Like you think I'm going to have the power of three, and you start with one idea of that, make the thorough speech. And this is a little dicey, but any guesses who these guys are? You know who this guy is? This guy?
Why not?
Common man. Wow, big enough to remember that. It's actually good. What, when, where, how, who. Suppose you have very little material on a subject, they can use the power of 6 wise men and ask the 6 questions. What is the problem? When was the problem? Why the problem? Where the problem? How the problem was the problem? This was the problem of the 6 wise men. But you have to conclude in about 90 seconds. So you have really one sentence to speak on each idea. It's a little dicey, but some people wake up in the 6 wise men. Okay. Secrets. What are the secrets to become a good table talk speaker? What will you give it up?
You have to think good.
Okay. Organize. Speed. So they're saying it takes only 20 years to create an overnight success. Most of the good table topic speakers do invest a lot of their time in rehearsing, recollecting quotations, ideas, humors, stories, and if you invest on yourself, that is the time they will come to your rescue. If you see most of the brilliant students in school are not like me who are reading while the bell was going on, hoping to answer the question that comes. They were studying throughout the year and therefore they knew the answers. Because at that time you were just hoping that the question comes which you are prepared about. But if you have read a quotation and it has become a part of you, you read a story, then you'll be surprised how quickly they come back to you when the topic is announced. So, answer 10 table questions with a stopwatch. Is that a good idea? Simple. You can have you can have it amongst two Toastmasters as well. Okay, I'll give you some work while waiting for going in a metro or waiting for a cab or in a break or something. Study anecdotes, short stories. Because in 90 seconds you can only narrate a short story, not narrate a big story. So you need a small anecdote, an idea which you can finish in a very short. Study quotations, record yourself and evaluate. So this is as far as the secrets go. Any secrets for delivery? Go with your first thought, as I told you right in the beginning. Go with your first thought. Why is this important, Ashwini? Because all those quotations that you read, the story you read, if that is coming on top of your mind, probably that is the engine to your thought process, the engine of your thought process. So if you go with that, I think you know how to begin and gradually some material will get manufactured along the way. So always go with the first thought. The second, you don't have to respond immediately. This was the question Atul was asking, but you have maximum 5 seconds. Right? I don't think you can, like even we recommend don't take those 5 seconds because the judges are seeing whether you are nervous or whether you are taking time because that also makes an impact.
And when you come to that level,
you should be able to start.
Because the other secret is keep reading, get topical, understand what's happening in the world. So by the time you are passed through so many stages, right from the club level to the area to the division, now over to the district. By then you should be ready. You can't take it.
So I remember we had contest where we had 30 seconds for every speaker
No,
to think.
Not for the contest.
Not for the contest.
It was for the contest.
No, it is not there.
No, it's not there now. You can't give everybody 30
No,
seconds.
but was it there earlier?
There was a loose interpretation.
See, there are lots of
interpretations.
Always go by the latest book, speech book. Every year they add or minus something from it. So always the latest.
Yes, in international also. So another thing is be there a big smile. You will be a shitty place. You will have no idea what you want to speak on. Like I do. But pretend that it's a game of for me. Just you will be banging on if you want. Okay. Open with energy. How is it important? Depends on topic. No, but open with energy because you get the attention. Because like we are all doing CV because so at least you will say about speakers. Ladies and gentlemen, please ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to talk about a topic which will be music to your ears. There's something like that. Whatever, open with energy. go to right, make the first point, you know the rules of making the points. I'm not going to repeat it, but those are all about delivery. And move with the transitions as we do that. Okay. Gather the audience with your reply. This comes the entertaining part. If you have a really strong line, leave it for the last. Because as I said, because you want to gather the people, stay focused on what you want to say and don't derail your response. Because you should look as if you're struggling. There has to be some coherent and express only the essential points you can reply. To sum all this up, I will show you one image. What do you gather from this?
She's wagging, she's calm.
Calm on the top, but padding furiously below the water. On this surface, you see, सब ठीक है. It's all okay. But furiously thinking, how am I going to begin? I'm going to conclude. I'm going to have a body. But this is an essential part because if people get an idea you're struggling, probably you don't deserve to be a winner. That's body language makes a lot of importance. So this is the app image that you have to see. Now this, keep in mind, the first thought, see that you take the thread only from diagram. I'm repeating that because people tend to think, oh I remember this, and suddenly they lose track. So even if that's not a good idea, it's a second best idea, but you can't divert somewhere midway and lose track of being overhead. Which I told you earlier, always carry some colorful quotes and stories along with you. You never know when you will be asked to make a small speech or a different topic. And if you're armed with that, so we don't have time, but there's a theory called bridges. You know the concept of bridges? If you know something, you connect it to something that you have been told to speak. So it gives you a comfort level that you go on to that. So those are all the armories that you have, and the more you have, the better you can illustrate your point. And don't wonder, just start speaking. So quickly, time is up. Time to remind. So what did we begin with? What did we begin with? Don't check your notes. What did we begin with? Okay? What is memory after? We began with the timings, the contest procedure. What else? Rule of 5. 3S. The anatomy of the speech. Then strategy. So 3S really seems to have remained in mind. Content and delivery both together. Okay, and the last will give a few tips. Time for one questions.
Just one thing from experience. This type of things never wait for the best sentence or best thing because many people grapple to open a good sentence and they waste time. And once you don't get a sentence, you don't scholar. So
yeah, that's what I told. Look at your vocabulary. Don't try to remember a quotation which you have no idea what the real quotation is and you missed it. No, that's not what I meant. But, so go with something that you know rather than try to mimic something that you're not very comfortable with. Any questions? Yeah.
While opening, can we use a bland humor to get to?
Yeah, we said we have the options.
Bland humor, like for taking some more seconds to think.
Like what? No, but it has to be connected to the subject.
That is like
Addressing the
See, the thing is,
Expect a response from it at least.
again, you are losing your time.
That part is a prepared part.
So, I deliver it to do that. Ideally, it should be connected because it will be, the judges are not there. They appear stupid, but most of them aren't. So they will know that you are just deliberately trying to, take some time. So if you can connect it, that's what we try to connect it. Don't come with a pre-plan. Come with 3-4 options and see, okay, does it go with the topic? If it doesn't go, drop it. Yes, sir.
sometimes the table topic master gives some topic like what if you discover that your wife is a snake or something like that, or genie. So how to handle those kind of
stay in the company of married people of So the idea is very simple.
Can Nivedita and Sachin be excused so that they can start the preparations for the meeting?
It's already fine. Yeah.
It's not in this room?
It is not in this room.
Isn't this
It is not in this room.
Then we can start when it's...
Yeah.
So,
You promised to be polite to me. See, now these are different things. Why don't you shut up?
you know, I'm pretty bigger than more of your blog if you were in another room in a meeting problem.
same room, sir, same.
That's a problem.
So, you know, you can use that as a very, because it's a humorous concept. So two snakes were talking to each other. How is poisonous? And why do you ask? Think I just bit my tongue. So you could use that humor to you know, cover it there. It's like a snappy answer to a stupid question. Because sometimes these kind of questions giving you, what do you make of it? If you try to give it, actually, I haven't met anybody. But I sometimes wonder if you ever discovered one morning that you were married to a snake. So you can use it like so many times, normally these kind of questions don't come in contests.
Yeah, contest.
Contests, they are more, you know, predictable. But if you get that, if somebody asks you a stupid question, you have every right to get a stupid answer. You're not trying to test me. Yeah.
I don't know the vocabulary and the codes. I still want to win. How the beginning?
This is like I want to succeed, but I don't want to hard work. Possible? Preparation. See, content cannot be fabricated. You need to have something inside you that you can speak on. The more material you have, you heard a story, you heard a creation, you read something, and not only read it, with the intention of recollecting. Because you just read it very. You know what the difference? You all had in school rapid reader? You all had rapid reader? That same story, you go to read it and the story would sound so different. Whereas the rapid reader was quite a challenge. Because you have to read the sentences and all that. Similarly, when you read those quotations, try and see how can you use it. For what can I use it? If you read a good humor quotation, because then your mind starts already starting thinking how can you apply that rapid and so kind of thing. Okay. So just before we end, remembering about my girlfriend. So before that, so is criticism something you can avoid by saying nothing, doing nothing? We are coming back to where we began, the caution.
Was he married? Really?
I see the people are coming in the room now and far more smiling than what came earlier. Okay. So you can really avoid your criticism, as we said, by doing nothing, being nothing. But that's not the idea. Because one of the great mercenaries and a revolutionary said very nicely about thinking on your feet. Any idea? He said it's better to have your feet than to live on your knees. Because table topics is something you will need in your life all the time. It's not only the contest, but you will need it all the time. And when you next time hear about table topics, will this reaction from the Nivedita? But do come back to the original. So, if you know the tricks, is it difficult? And now you wonder, so we are looking at record number of registrations. And as soon as we finish the meeting, we are, what's the last date for today? Today is the last day. Today is the last day. Today, what is the last day? So So rush to register for the table topic contest.
So how many people are actually part of the table topic contest?
So who are going to register? Only those who are not going to register, put your hand up. When is the contest? Another month.
The contest
Only
is
those who are not contesting, put your hand up.
put up your hands. Let me write your names. Ashwini, should I put your name? Contest. Second meeting of February.
Okay, time is very running out, so I must tell you about my girlfriend who recently presented me with sitting cricket and I was choked with emotions when she gave me a box with 6 balls. I said, wow, you're so considerate. He said, did you get the message? It's over. Thank you so much for being